Hi there, this is Lori. I was sent this ping file and asked to make it so that it's live and editable in Artisan. So I'm in Artisan 5 to do this, and I'm going to show you the easiest way to make it happen. First of all, I did flatten it, and then I took it into brightness, and I brought my contrast all the way up because I really want to make those edges between the white and the element show. I want them to be very different. Then I'm going to go into Cut, Wand, and I'm going to take the brush. Now, when I take the brush, I'm going to click inside my element on the color that I want, and I'm going to trace around. And the reason I do this with brush instead of just using the wand is the wand, you can see I goofed a little bit, that's okay, I'll show you how to fix that afterwards. But the wand will end up giving me a fuzzy edge instead of a nice crisp edge like I want. So, whoop, and yes, I can fix those. That is the beauty of about anything that you do in Artisan. So if I go down to the minus now, removing pixels, I'm going to click out here in the white, and I'm going to push in close to the yellow. So you can see I'm just removing all the white. Whoop, now right here, look, I went into the yellow, so I can go to my plus, and I can go back out. Okay, so what I've done here is I've got marching ants that are just around this part and not in here. And that doesn't help me a whole heck of a lot because I need all of this. So my brush is already as big as it can be. I'm just going to keep going until all of this is full. Now, I could have chosen to do it the other way. I could have used my brush on the white, and then I would have had to do the white outside, and I would have had to do the white inside in the hole in the center. But I'm just going to keep brushing, and I'm going to go right over that text because this text is actually not what we're going to use. We'll use this kind of as an inspiration point, but we're not going to actually use that text to make anything live. So it does take a moment here to get all of this. So bear with me. Now all of this text, you can see that it's kind of fuzzy looking, but instead of continuing to play with that, I can fix that later on. What's important is I have this whole flower shape with the circle in the front of it. So I'm going to say select, and then I go to cut copy, and at this point I am going to say we selected this. This is all within a selection. I'm going to say keep the selected area and cut, and now all that white goes away. Because on the text we did have some areas that we didn't get, we need to fix that. We want to make that so that there are no holes in it. So that's very easy. I will insert. I'm going to insert a shape, and I will just use a circle. If I put that circle here and make sure that I cover all of that text, that's very easy to do. And then I'm going to pull that circle. Yes, I am going to create, after I do that, I'm going to pull it down, and you can see now that it's underneath. Now the other thing that you can see when I do this is not every edge is absolutely perfect. And I can see that a little bit on the outside too, but I'm not going to sweat it too much on the outside. But on the inside, because you might put a photo in there, I do want that to be absolutely perfect. So before I go any further, actually I can go ahead and do it right now. I'm just going to select both of these, and I am going to arrange and flatten. Now with this selected, I will go to cut, shape. I am going to go over and get a circle. Now I can make sure that I have a perfect circle in the center. So when I cut originally, I didn't really need, when I saved this shape out here, I didn't really need to get rid of that circle in the center because I could have just done it this same way. I'm just showing you a couple of different ways to do it. Since I want a perfect circle, I'm going to make sure to say restore aspect ratio. So I want to turn that on, and I'll just wiggle it, and I can even use my arrow keys on my keyboard to make sure that it's perfectly centered. Okay, so at this point I'm going to say keep the unshaded area, so that's everything except the circle, and there we go, and now it's very crisp and clean inside. So here is our ping that we can fill with paper if we wanted to. I made this shape solid so we'll be able to see the words underneath it, but I want to pull this ping back over so that we can see exactly how the text needs to be. I am going to go to Shape, Ellipse, and I've already made this shape transparent, and I removed the stroke. In A5 with the upgrade now, or update, now when you do something like this, it remembers it, so I don't have to go back and do it every time. And I'm going to position it in the same approximate place that the words will be. So we'll go ahead and create this, and over that element here, I'm going to right mouse, text, and I'm going to format. So when I format, I can position text along the shape like it is right now, and as I scroll down, I've got different choices. So let me type in the text before I do that. I can either click and do it, or I can choose edit again. Let's make it big enough to see. Let's type in a word. And since a script is going to be very difficult to read upside down and backwards, I will change that to something with all capital letters that will make it easier. I will just say OK, and you can see that there's one of them here. I'll right mouse, text, and go back into that format choice. I'm going to repeat text to fill the path, and now it goes the normal way, but we want it to be basically upside down and backwards. I will hit reverse path direction, and there you go, upside down and backwards. It's absolutely matching what we have over here. I'm going to say OK. I'll just pull it out to make it bigger and recenter it. If I have any trouble recentering it, I can choose both, and I can just recenter with my arrange tools. Now you can fill this flower with any of the papers exactly how you would like. And then of course you can change your words. And your color, and have it look totally different and exactly the way you want. The most important part is to put some shadow on it to make it pop out. And I don't believe you really notice, and you especially won't if you make this smaller, that little bit of an uncrisp edge that it might have. Enjoy playing, have fun, and take care.